morning, good morning, good morning. This morning we're talking about profound education. I am here at the southernmost tip of Lanai. Yeah, maybe I'll share this video. Let's share this video. Okay. It's one of my favorites. Oh, let me turn this camera around. Sorry. One of my favorite little spots right here. This little swimming pool with its swim-through cave. Isn't that awesome? Way out there in the haze is the big island of Hawaii. Way over there is Fiji or something. Way out there is California. Sweetheart Rock. Into the sun. One of my favorite spots. So today we're going to talk about profound education, but before we do that, an announcement. Sometime in the next couple of days, could be tomorrow, could be Saturday, could even be Sunday, I am going to interview live Leah Ditton. So Leah is my friend that just rode from San Francisco to Honolulu. 88 days or something by herself in a rowboat. An incredibly amazing mental feat. And that's what I'm going to talk to her about is the mental game. And how do you stay out there, way out there, where she didn't see land for 86 days. 86 days she didn't see any land at all. In a little tiny rowboat in the middle of the ocean. That's where she slept. That's where she went to the bathroom. That's where she prepared her meals. That's where she ate. That's where she did everything in this little rowboat, which I'll show you. So stay tuned, and if the way you will know is if you don't have it set your notifications. So if I go live, you at least get a notification on your phone. Of course, I don't expect that you're all doing nothing when I happen to go live, and so, oh, hey, drop in and watch Richard. But just in case you happen to be free, set your notifications, see first. That's what you want to see. So, profound education this morning. What is that all about? That's this term I created. I just put the word profound in front of the word education because I've had some visceral, life-changing experiences from what I call profound education. And what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean by profound education. That you and I watch something, read something, hear something, we get educated about a particular topic. Sorry, I got like a bug on me. And the education is so profound. It's so compelling. It has so much credible science behind it. So much evidence, perhaps so many testimonials. It's so deep, right? It's not advertising. It's not promotion. It's not somebody's agenda. I mean, it could be, but what's behind it could be an agenda, but the evidence itself is so compelling that you and I, in absorbing the education, we're never the same. Like, we can't ever forget it, and it potentially, if it's in line with our values, changes our behavior forever. And, you know, I'll give you an early example of when I first experienced this, and I've told this story thousands of times in talking about profound education in the last 40 years. So 40 years ago, I had on my sales team a naturopath and a massage therapist, chiropractor that were married. And they lived in Miami, and they had a holistic health clinic, which 40 years ago was a pretty novel thing, right? A naturopath, chiropractic, massage therapist. And of course, they practiced those arts, but what they were really, really big on was nutrition. And I didn't know anything about nutrition other than the whatever they are, the 5 food groups or something, which is, you know, Big Mac, Taco Bell, and Burger King, and Dairy Queen, and Denny's. Those are the 5 food groups, aren't they? And I'll have a double order of everything. And extra sauce, please. And an extra large diet or whatever Coke. That's the 5 food groups. That's what I knew about nutrition. And of course I was in my, 20s, so I was like a garbage burning incinerator, right? So when you're in your 20s and 30s, you are like one of those incinerators that burns all the garbage. You could put anything in those incinerators and it'll burn it to nothing. And so I could put all the garbage I wanted in my body and I just smoked it, right? Turned it all to ash. And, it's like, putting sewer water in your Ferrari. I guess, if it's hot enough in the engine, it'll burn anything. But of course, when we get around 40 years old, there's a little time clock in us around 40 years old. Everything changes and, we can't burn trash anymore. And if we still try to burn trash, everything turns to fat, right? Because we're not efficient anymore. So anyway, it's like 40 years ago. This couple they started talking to me about sugar. And they told me about, because we're in Miami and the Everglades, they start telling me about the sugar industry and the sugar cartels and how the sugar cartels took over the state of Florida and turned the Everglades into these toxic, profitable business. I'm going, really? What? Sugar? I thought sugar was good. What's his name on the Frosted Flakes? Tony the Tiger. He says sugar's good. My mom always said sugar was good. My mom would serve us fruit. Here's some grapefruit, or here's some strawberries, or here's some blueberries. And she would sprinkle sugar all over the top of them. Sugar on your oatmeal, sugar on everything, right? We had a bowl of sugar on the table for every meal as a kid. So these two are trying to convince me that sugar's bad. And I'm like, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. So they gave me this book. The point of the whole story is they gave me this book, which is not in print anymore, but if you Google it, you can see the book. If any of you want to drop a picture of it in here, and maybe there's a place to find it, Amazon, I don't know. But it's called Sugar Blues. The book is called Sugar Blues. It's a paperback published 45 years ago. And it's an easy book to read, which if it's not an easy book to read, I'll never read it. I probably read it in an hour or two. And I have to tell you, folks, from the time I put that book down, in fact, halfway through the book, it's not that I haven't eaten sugar, I have. But I have, I will have to say rarely and very consciously put sugar on my food. Rarely, but also very consciously, meaning if I did it, it wasn't unconscious, I intentionally put sugar on there, knowing I was just putting rat poison in my body, right? Which I'll do on occasion. So, what was the book Sugar Blues? Profound education. And, I've read other books like that. Think and Grow Rich, even though it was not an easy book to read, was profound education. My gosh, you get through that book and you don't ever look at success the same. You don't ever hold success as, well, it's based on luck or it's based on circumstances like I think we talked about yesterday, self-responsibility. It's all in here, right? Any of us can become successful if we follow the principles of other successful people. And so that's what I read Think and Grow Rich. It changed me forever. I never thought the same about success. I always started thinking about, I'm personally responsible for whatever I manifest. If I'm having bad luck, it's because I got stinking thinking. I'm not doing the right actions. I'm hanging around the wrong people, right? So you change all that. And what's cool about today is it's not so much books, but it's documentaries. So today, you can binge on documentaries, and of course you have to take with a grain of salt the facts that are represented in the documentary. Like if you really want to change your life or change something, you might want to do some due diligence on who produced the documentary and gets some fact checking on their facts, which we have to do today with everything, because documentaries are not immune to just being BS, like basically an infomercial for some agenda. But documentaries are a great way to bring evidence to what's going on in the world. Like one that Kimmy and I watched, I don't know, a couple of years ago, was Stink, S-T-I-N-K. And my gosh, you watched the documentary Stink, and I believe every thinking human being, especially if you have kids, will go through every cupboard in your house, the laundry room, the bathroom, under the kitchen sink, wherever you have cleaning supplies, wherever you have products that have fragrances in them, like, you know, the fresh flower scent. The fresh flower scent is not flowers. Companies can put flowers on the label, and they can say natural flower scent. They can say that because there's no definition of natural in advertising. Anybody can say it. But what are they producing the flowery scent with? Over 200 chemicals, maybe up to 80,000 different chemicals that have never, ever, ever been tested by the EPA or anybody else for toxicity. Because of a law in 1976 that exempted every chemical that had been used up to that point in a fragrance, exempted it from ever being tested or disclosed. Doesn't even have to be on the label. That's a law. That's a federal law exempting tens of thousands of chemicals from ever being tested or ever even being had to put on the label. That's the world we live in, right? And you just watch the petrochemical companies in the future, since they're getting squeezed on being able to sell gasoline and fuel oil and, you know, natural gas. They're getting squeezed by the green movement. So where are they going to go to make profits and sell products? They're going to take advantage of that 1976 law, and they're going to pump up the sales and marketing of petrochemicals in all the products that we use. Now, you know, I'm not telling you which way to go on that. You go whichever way you want, right? I'm just telling you that after I watch Stink, man, when I smell a fragrance, the first thing I think is, what is that? Who's wearing what? Who sprayed what? And what's in it? Because I actually want my fragrances to come from pure organic sources. I don't want them to come from 80,000 chemicals that have never been tested and don't even have to be on the label. I don't want that, right? Fragrances like change our body chemistry immediately, or change our mood immediately. You know, you guys probably know all that stuff, right? I don't want that. So it only took watching Stink once, changed me forever. So why do I say all this? Well, number one, if you want to change something in your life, you want to be healthier, if you want to be wealthier, if you want to be happier, if you want to make more money, if you want to get more fit, if you want to do something, seek out profound education. Seek out the kind of education that you can't learn in 2 minutes, right? You actually have to read a book, or you have to sit down for an hour and watch a documentary. At least, and then probably going to have to do your homework on the documentary, right? Because who knows who's behind it and what the agenda is, and you got to fact check everything. If you're in marketing and you want to market a product, think about using profound education as the shift maker in your prospects, right? So, for example, if you, I don't know, maybe you have a diet product, right? And maybe it's not a keto product. Maybe it's, you know, it's a diet product. You're trying to figure out, well, how do I market my diet product, my weight loss, my fitness program? And we got all these keto people out there. How do I do that? Well, go watch the documentary For the Health of It. For the Health of It. I don't know how you watch that and not change your attitude towards meat. Unless you're so baked in programmed that we're meat eaters. Now, If you are marketing keto, I don't know what the documentary is, but I know there's a documentary, or 2 or 3 or 4, right? That if people would watch that documentary, they'd go immediately and do a keto diet. I'm not promoting either one. I'm just telling you, profound education moves people powerfully. Way more than marketing. You know, marketing is just superficial BS promises. Seth Godin said it best in his book, All Marketers Are Liars. It's true, right? We just take the best of the best of the best spin, and then that's our presentation. And that's just assuming that it's all legal and ethical and accurate, but most marketers actually go beyond that and lie. Politicians lie, marketers lie. So if you want to actually have a profound impact on yourself and a profound impact on prospects, figure out what it is you're selling, or figure out what it is you want to do with your life, and go find some profound education to study. Because once you make that internal shift where you can't ever forget, it's 40 years now and I can't ever forget Sugar Blues. I just watched for the health of it. I've watched a couple of documentaries like that in the past. Man, I don't think I can ever forget. And there's all kinds of them, right? Food Inc., Super Size Me, right? How can you watch Super Size Me and ever walk into a fast food place again and order a burger? Now, I've done it, right? But I've done it intentionally knowing it. It's like I walked into the Devil's Den and I said, you got any extra heroin? I'll have some with fries and extra sauce, right? You know what you're doing if you watch Supersize and you walk into a fast food place. So that's my encouragement of the day. You want to change yourself profoundly? Go find something that's aligned with what you want to do, who you want to become, and study it. Such that you get such deep science, such deep evidence, incontrovertible evidence that you're changed forever. And if you're marketing something, go find something like that and use it instead of your marketing stuff. Like, you may only get 1 out of 10 people to watch an hour-long documentary before you present to them. But wouldn't you want to present to somebody who watched an hour-long documentary that proved your case before you unleash all your marketing BS on them? There you go. And that's what I have to say about that. If this inspires you, share it. And stay tuned for my impromptu live interview with Leah. What I suggest you do with Leah is set up a watch party. Because her story is going to inspire the crap out of everybody that sees it. Because remember, it's all the mental game, right? You and I can do anything we want to do if we got it up here. And you want to hear from a master of the mental game, hear from somebody that rode for 88 days by herself on the ocean every day, right on the brink of death. Crazy. I can't wait to hear what she says. See you tomorrow.